I'm Cans.
And I'm Sobhan. And we're seeking $325,000 in exchange for 10% of our revolutionary company.
Sharks, we love fishing.
Oh, yes, we do. We love fishing so much, but we experience a lot of frustration with the old traditional fishing methods.
See, sometimes people spend more time and energy fidgeting with traditional lures and catching live bait than they do actually fishing.
Not to mention, who wants to deal with this gross mess?
I mean, I don't go fishing. Yeah, can I just put that out there? I don't go fishing. That's why I had to call in a fish expert.
I fish.
He fishes. He's Clay Groves, and you'll get to learn more about him later on in the video.
Nasty baits and lures available in stores today, but couldn't find anything that attracted fish in a simple and efficient way. So we created it ourselves. Introducing Animated Lure. Animated Lure is a rechargeable robotic lure, the likes of which the world has never seen.
We've seen it.
Once you place Animated Lure into the water.
You've seen it in person?
Oh, these have been around for years. This is not a new idea or a new invention. This is something that's been on the market forever. Lots of companies have been making kind of wind-up lures, battery-powered robot lures. Even one company called Zombait that makes a lure that you stick inside of a dead fish. It makes it into a robot dead fish. This is not a new idea.
A robot dead fish.
It's called Zombait. Yeah.
Wow. Does it work well? Is it?
Everything works. There's not a single lure on the planet that doesn't work well if you trust it. When you
all
sell
I
lures,
gotta do is trust it.
Yeah, when you sell a lure, you're not making more fish bite. You're making more people buy. Lures are made for consumers, not for fish. I'm not impressed by lures.
Well, I didn't think it was a new thing, but I am not one to go fishing. So yeah, this is why
By the way, I would still happily use it. Let's watch it. I'm sorry.
You'll notice it starts to swim on its very own, mimicking the swim patterns of real fish.
That's
pretty cool.
If you think it swims like a real fish, what are the fish going to think? So why?
Why spend so much time and money on traditional lures and live baits when you can use Animated Lure?
See how much you can learn on Shark Tank? It's amazing.
I have to ask Damon, though, is this different than anything you've ever used to fish with?
Yeah, I've never seen it. How often does it rust, or like how many times you need to rebuy that unit?
Yeah. So right now we have about 40 times. This is with action, with you catching fish and stuff like that.
So how long does it hold a charge for?
Wait, they said 40 times. That's how many? What is that?
I don't know
what
what 40 times doesn't mean anything. Is it 40 casts? Is it 40 fishing trips? Is it 40 fish? They're not answering the question.
Okay. So maybe it was an editing issue there or something.
I think so. Yeah. There's missing pieces there. Yeah.
Okay. And again, that's why I got the fish nerds expert, Clay Groves, on here, because I would have been like, I think I missed something. I'm not sure, but who knows?
So for different sizes, for the minis up to 45 minutes of swim. For the classic,
There's
it's an
that
hour and a
answer.
half. For the biggest one, you see the saltwater, the one that's in production right now, that's up to 2 hours.
What makes you guys fish experts? Why should I believe you?
I'm a project manager at manufacturing facilities, and
I'm actually a licensed professional counselor. I'm working in community mental health in Collin County.
Well, then it makes sense.
Yeah, right? All right, so before they jump into how that makes sense, I want to tell you how you can make sense of this video by dropping a comment down below like, Steve, rebrand yourself and your career after 30, says, really fun to watch. New subscriber here for yeah. I appreciate you, Steve, and I appreciate anybody that drops comments down below. Or while you're down there, make sure you smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm so we can get this video into the hands of more super entrepreneurs like yourself. Now, Clay, why don't you tell the super entrepreneurs who you are and your background before they explain their background into fishing?
Absolutely. So my name's Clay Groves. I am the chief executive fish nerd of the Fish Nerds podcast. I probably know more about fish than a lot of people. I'm not sure. I don't like the word expert, but I am a licensed fishing guide. I've been guiding for 10 years, talking about fish on podcasts for 10 years, nationally recognized speaker on sustainable fishing and all that kind of stuff. And I love to fish, and I don't like spending a lot of money on it. So I always love seeing new ideas on things I can avoid buying. But this might be a good one. I would use this thing, but I'd be afraid. I'm afraid to put things on my line that cost a lot of money. So that's my big fear with products like this. I'm really curious to see the rest of this pitch. But I make the Fish Nerds podcast, and been doing it for 10 years now, 300 episodes, and have a lot of fun.
Where
talk
can
about
they
fish,
where can they get
fishing
that
and
at?
eating fish. Anywhere you get a podcast called Fish Nerds. Just look. So you get a website, fishnerds.com, but don't go there. Just go to your phone where you listen to podcasts and put it in and take a listen. It'll be 300 hours for free entertainment.
Woo! Ding
Yeah,
ding.
just say thank you.
Hard to beat that.
But it's something that we saw growing up. And if I may, my dad and I used to go fishing all the time. And I don't share about my dad too often, so please bear
He's
with
gonna
me.
cry.
Him and I used to go fishing all the time, all the way until he was diagnosed with a lung disease and concluded his human experience. But it was during those times where we noticed some of the problems that exist with the old traditional fishing method. And so, and they have always taught us to not only identify problems, but to try your best to be part of the solution. And so
I like
these
that.
words meant
Ding,
a lot to
ding.
me because it came from two individuals that sacrificed everything to come to this country so that their children have an opportunity to contribute to the betterment of society, also to take control of their own destiny.
Where did
Can you
come
pause it
from?
for a second?
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about this. Is a classic pitch. It takes away from the product. This is all about the story of the inventor, the immigrant story. It's a very classic one. Shark Tank loves these kind of stories. If you've watched a lot of these episodes, they edit to focus on that story. And you almost know when you get that kind of story, you can almost predict the outcome of the episode. Like that's kind of where I'm at. I have a prediction. I haven't seen this episode yet, but I've got in my head. I know.
So,
it's gonna
so
happen.
what you're telling me is that Robert's not enough of a fisherman to have that pull on his heartstrings enough to be like, yeah, okay, let's make it happen.
Right, but hearing now an immigrant story. Oh, my dad was an immigrant. Maybe I'll give some money. Plus, you have Damon there, who's a big fisher. Although he invests in a lot of fishing companies.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Look, they all ask what their story, what their background is, and he needed more than just. I don't even recall what he is outside of this. The one was a therapist, but the other one, I don't remember.
An engineer
that one.
of some sort. I
Yeah,
forgot it, but
so
it didn't matter. Yeah,
right. So I'm
it
curious.
wasn't as good a story as the immigrant story.
Well, look,
immigrant coupled with dead dad. I mean, those two things together.
I'm not laughing. That's not.
Stop
not,
laughing, Joe.
no.
You're a bad person.
I'm not trying to be a bad person. It is absolutely terrible.
No, but it's a heartstrings
that
thing.
it's
It's a classic move to draw people in when it's not about the product anymore. It's about the person, and that's how you make sales.
But Clay, it's always about the business wouldn't have existed at all if it wasn't for them two. Though I am curious, and this is to bring it back around to actual business. Did they create the product, or did they find somebody that already created the product and oh, we want to get involved with fishing? This is a way to do it. We could be that. We could be.
Oh, so are they just the face of the product, or did they invent it? Right?
Did they invent it? Yeah. Or did they at least
find out? Yeah.
buy it from somebody and improve upon it or something? That's the kind of stuff that I'm more in tune with.
Well, that's what I want the product.
Yeah.
You're on.
From Persia, yeah.
What do these cost you to make? What do you sell them for? And tell us about your total sales.
Here
Perfect.
we
The
go.
landing price for the mini is $8. For the classic, it's $10.
And what's
Landing
the
price
Not
new
bad.
big one cost?
$16. For the mini, it's retailing at $29.95. For our classic, $32.95. And for our saltwater, it's $79.95.
Wow.
Oh, that's
Also
no.
selling
Whoa,
no,
$79.95 for the large.
They're out of business already. No, they're that 29. So listen, when you put an expensive item on the end of a string and tie a knot and cast it out into the world, you have to expect to lose it. And now there are examples of expensive lures that do well, but that's really insane.
$29 is too much. Is the bridge
It's
too
too
far?
much for me. I
For,
mean,
for the
average-
small.
yeah,
For the small one.
for the small one, and then the saltwater.
Wow.
I forget the number they gave you, but that's crazy expensive. So I see these as a novelty. You get it for a gift, but things in tackle boxes get ruined. Expensive things in tackle boxes get ruined just as fast as cheap things. It's a mess in there. It's salt water. It's worm guts. It's dead fish. It's other fish eating the fish you're catching. It's seagulls. It's catching trees. It's sagging rocks. I mean, there's so much that can go wrong. So the idea of dropping $30 on a small lure, that's a tough sell.
Yeah, I mean it seems like that to me. Now, if you are interested, stick around to the end because we're going to check out their website and we're going to check out see what some reviews, and we're even going to go to Amazon and check out what some of their competitors are up to, because obviously, as Clay mentioned, there are competitors.
Or are you through retail?
Right now, it's majoritively on our website. However, we're in a few mom and pop stores here in the United States. We also have a distributor in Canada. We're in about 40 stores there.
What about the big boys, Bass and all the rest?
That's where we're hoping to make a deal, and
We want-
they'll pick up your phone calls for sure.
Okay, but while we're still talking dollars and costs, $325,000, 10% imputes a $3.25 million
There are some
value.
sales here.
You must be selling a lot of mechanical fish.
2020 to date, we're at $247,000. We're projecting for this year $500,000 in sales, and then even next year $675,000 in sales.
You guys are making money right now?
So yes. So right now,
I would
me
hope
and
so.
Tom both work full-time jobs. We have zero debt in this company. We've put everything, our own money into this company.
How much money did you put in?
$25,000 to get the ball rolling, so we can get this
You didn't
stuff.
mess around, did you?
No. We haven't taken a penny out of our own company. Every cent we've earned, we put back into our
You own the company equally?
As you should.
Yes, equally, yes.
Ding,
sir.
ding.
I'm thinking the way to sell this is forget about fishing. Put 10 of them in a tank and call it an aquarium.
Yeah.
You don't have to
That would I think they got to make it a little more prettier. Get some like blue tang or clownfish. Make a Nemo exhibit out of it.
They actually funny at my local Chinese restaurant. They have a fish tank of electronic fish, so it's a real thing. It's already out there.
Well, So the sales are growing. Huge potential upside there. I like you said, $29. $29 is definitely very pricey. But I'm curious to see what the like I said earlier, like what the competition is doing, to see if maybe they're only are they like $10 more than the competition?
Or maybe they're the same
$5
price. I don't know what the competition has for that. It's got competition for like electric fishing lures.
Yes, for electric fishing lures. Yeah.
Robot lures. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
At like a restaurant or something like that.
That is a good idea.
That's a great idea. You guys, look, it really is a good idea. It really is clever. But I'm just not a fisherman. I just don't have that feel for it. And so while I'm proud of what you have accomplished,
Appreciate you.
I have to say I'm out.
Thank you.
Listen,
Not
I am not a
surprised.
fisherman either. I just know a little bit. And for those reasons, because I don't know, it's a little too early for me. I'm out.
Guys, you're not really a
Shame.
company.
The whole gift giving thing would have been great on QVC, though. But
Yeah.
she's not a fisher person.
No, but that's
fisher
always.
woman?
I always.
I don't.
Fisher, we just call them fishers now. Or an angler. Now I find that always that reaction. I'm not a fisher, so I can't invest in your company. I've seen all these sharks invest in companies that they're not a expert in.
Mm-hmm.
So that to me is not a reason not to invest. That's saying you didn't pitch it well enough to me. I don't understand it well enough to invest. I'm not a fisher, so I'm not going to invest.
Yeah,
Because all those sharks invest in stuff they don't understand every day.
They do. But I don't think that. I think that when you're talking about fishing, you're talking about a very and if you're not into it, like I don't think I would invest in something like that because I don't fish, so I don't know.
Yeah, but if you had the kind of capital they had and the numbers worked for you, the actual product doesn't make any difference. You can flop substitute fish in for something else, and you'd invest. So it's not the fish, it's the pitch. They didn't sell them on the sales.
I think that's a fair point. The numbers don't necessarily work. There is a lot of profit there, but at $325,000 for 10%, they are like nowhere near the opportunity for them to get their money back. So that's why I think the only one here that would probably be who is the fisherman is Damon. He's the only real opportunity that they have to make this happen.
Mm-hmm.
Basically a product right now because both of you have real jobs, and there's nothing wrong with that. How do I get my $325,000 back again?
Exactly.
The reality of the situation is not about what you know, it's about who you know. And we know that you guys know a lot of people.
But think about what you're saying. I give you $325,000, then I go to work for you opening up big box retail. I get on the phone, I fly to meet the buyer or whatever I have to do. And I'm working so you, who have 90% of the company, can say, good dog, and I gave you all the money. Either I'm going to get a huge percentage of this company because it's not even worth $325,000 yet, or you're going to come up with some very creative way that I get my capital back while my partners own 90%. You know, that's the problem.
That's a royalty deal he's looking for.
Did you say royalty deal, Laura? Oh my God.
Well, yeah. Well, 'cause
He's on the money.
It's a ding ding, right? On the nose too. It's it's tough when you're talking about that much money. You know, if they came in asking for $100,000, or even $150,000, $175,000, right? To help perpetuate that growth. I mean, they haven't even talked about like what are they going to use the money for? You know, what do they need the money for? I mean, they're making a real healthy profit there. So I'm not sure.
Well, can we back up a second?
Yeah,
Talk about
go ahead.
getting into Bass Pro Shops, for example. Like he said, have you tried to get into? And they're like, no, we haven't tried because we need to get you guys to get us into Bass Pro Shops. Now I have a few friends who own small fishing lure companies, and all of them have got into Bass Pro Shops. It's a couple of phone calls. You show up, meet a regional representative, and show your product, and it gets in the store. They're pretty supportive of small companies getting in there. It's not a pipe dream. And so I suspect they haven't done that homework. They just assume they need the help.
I think that makes a lot of sense on Bass Pro Shops on their end because of the fact that how many fishing lure companies are there, right? Like how?
It's a saturated market.
It's a saturated market.
Huge. It's huge market. Yeah, there's so many different brands, and they almost all are very, very similar. You know, you find variations of ideas, but not a lot of original ideas. A few exceptions, but almost all are just kind of the same thing. And the classic lures, the ones that have worked since 1920, still work great today, which are the ones that sell the best. New ideas don't always do the best. The bigger changes in lure manufacturing now is we're seeing more environmental friendly lures. Like, for example, I only fish lead free. I don't fish with fishing lead because lead's bad for the environment. And I think everyone should be thinking about.
Is that like you're talking about like the weights?
I'm talking about lead on them. I don't want lead in the water. We know lead's bad. It's a neurotoxin. Right. Lead weights in New Hampshire are already illegal. Mm-hmm. So people are switching out, trying new materials. You're seeing better hooks, sharper hooks, better materials for that to be made out of, and just stronger stuff. But it's the variation of lures. It's usually just a tweak here and there to call it something original. We'll see how this plays.
I mean, the anti-lead thing is big. I'm all ding ding all about that. But yeah, I guess if it's that saturated, maybe it's not as easy as you're thinking it is to get in.
That's why you do it regionally. Start at your local market.
Hey, same with Whole Foods and all those places.
Because they're all open to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's what I suggest. I give you $325,000. I get $3 a unit until I recoup $1 million. 10% of the company in case somebody decides to buy it.
That is a great offer.
Of course it is.
Let me just tell you where I stand. There's something you said that really.
Well, I mean,
that is awful.
It is an offer, right? It's an offer. It's an opportunity. Let's see if somebody else really wants it. See if Damon's that interested.
It bothered me. You said it's not what you know, it's who you know. When I started out, everyone said that to me. You're never going to make it. You don't know anybody. I was screwed before I started if I believed that. It's not who you know. It's what you make with what you have. That's fair. I respect the dream, and I really respect the hustle you guys have, but this isn't a business for me. I think you got a long way to go. I'm out.
No surprises there. I mean, I think it says it right on his face. They weren't not surprised.
No, well, he doesn't like the excuse. I don't know people. I can't get the job done. He's been like that forever on this show.
Well, no, I'm saying that I apologize. I don't quite remember. I remember Can's name.
Oh no, I was talking about Herjavec or whatever his name is.
Yeah, Herjavec. Yeah, Robert. Yeah, no, that part I get. That I'm just saying that they're probably not surprised that he's not into it because he's not a fisherman.
Thank you. All right. The product, superb, amazing. Where I'm struggling is, of course, the valuation. If I gave you $325 for 10%. Basically, as you drill down the numbers, paying yourself and, on a 40%, even 50% margin, you would have to do almost $35 million to then take distribution for me to make my money. You came here to fish for a shark, but you didn't hook this one. I'm out.
Oh man,
game over.
That is
Game over.
tough.
Yeah.
That is tough. So it pretty much leaves Kevin. So I guess the question is Kevin's royalty deal? I only got most of it written down here. $3 per unit
until $1 million.
Until he gets $1 million. So he's getting 3x on his money. And then and he still won the 10%. The 10% was total.
Yeah.
Look, if they need the money and they really want somebody to open up the door for them, then that's still an opportunity.
Well, it is, and you think about it in terms of like it's actually a terrible deal in most cases, but because it's Shark Tank and you have the push of the television, that $3 could go away fast.
Absolutely.
If they do it right, and you got to be careful that you don't step over dollars to save nickels. I think that's the old saying goes, right? Like you say no to the wrong deal, but then that exponential growth you can get from being on TV is there. So even though like on a small scale that deal sucks, on a large scale it's actually not terrible.
Yeah, I mean they could actually. I mean, they I was just thinking they could actually pay it down even faster than that if they sell the large at $79. Like for the $16 cost, like. They could absolutely crush it.
They could. I just don't see the market for that kind of expensive lure, given that cheaper lures work really well. So it's not like we have like most fishers aren't taking a lure and put it under a bobber and let it swim in circles. That's not how most people are catching fish.
Yeah.
So you'd have to try to change hearts and minds, and that fishers are stubborn, old, salty, beardy, even the ladies. They're terrible. So
I'm not laughing. Well, I still want to point out that they haven't addressed the fact of like who actually makes the product, and is there an opportunity for them to get their cost even further down? Maybe providing a lower cost option, especially on that high end of $79 for their large, like. All right, here you go. If that lure was not $79, but was, I don't know, $59.
There's no difference to me.
No, still too expensive for a large one?
It's insane. It is so much money. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I might be in the minority on this one, but I doubt it. It is crazy expensive.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that way every time I throw my drone up in the air. Like, am I going to get it back?
So I had a company give me for free to test out it's a product that's made to go on your fishing string. It's a camera, like a GoPro, that you drag in the water behind your boat with a lure behind it. I'm afraid to put it in the water. It costs $200, and I'm going to tie a piece of string to it and put it in the water. I can't do it. I can't make myself tie a piece of string to it and trust my knot well enough to drop $200 in the water behind my boat.
How long? Like you're talking about, like fishing line?
Yeah. So it's a camera designed to go behind your fishing line. It's like a little GoPro, but shaped like a torpedo, and you put your bait behind it, and then you can see the fish come chasing your lure. I'm afraid to put it in the water. Yeah.
What if you attached like a floaty to it?
You still got to, like I said, it still scares me. It's the idea of putting that kind of thing. You still got to trust your string. You got to tie a knot to it and trust that you have a perfect knot.
How deep has it got to go?
It can go as deep as you want to go. So like if you're driving around
how
with
deep
behind,
would you let it go? Was what I'm asking. Like,
it's the way
10 feet,
the way it's no. The way it's designed to fish is you tie a string to it, you put it in the water, and you put it 100 feet behind your boat, and then put a line behind that, and you drive your boat, drag it through the water. It's called trolling, and it's made for trolling. So it's only a couple feet below the surface of the lake, but it's 100 feet behind your boat on a piece of string. I'm just not there.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if it was a shorter distance. Like if we were talking like, okay, what I'm saying is if it's depending how far down under the water it is, if you got like one of those metal wires, like a wrapped in like a polyurethane metal wire, and then you put a floaty at the top of that and you attach it to the camera, so you have like this
you could do
extra
it actually comes with a float like that. It comes with a float like that. It points straight down, acts like a bobber.
Yeah,
but I don't fish that way.
Oh, well, there you go.
Doesn't match my style. Yeah.
Well then, all roads lead back to Mr. Wonderful and the fish. What are you going to do?
So our counter would be 20% for $500,000.
Hello. Okay.
Whoa. Oh man.
That's crazy.
Um.
That's the counter.
Okay. All right. Let's see how this plays out.
$2 a unit in royalty.
So in this counter, no royalty.
He's out.
I thought we were on the planet Earth together. Let me absorb the counter so I can just get the essence of it, the essence. Instead of me giving you $325 for 10%, I give you $500,000 for 20%, and I may never see it again. It may swim away because we don't know what's going to happen.
We want some guidance. We're young. We're still learning the ropes.
The first guidance is listen when you have a real investor on the hook, and don't come back with a stupid counter. That's a ridiculous counter. Look, look, I can't tell.
Yeah. Yeah. How would that? How have they not watched the show? I don't.
You know, people come in with you know, I don't know if you've ever done any big pitches before, but when you go into a pitch, and I don't pitch because I fail every time, so I gave it up. But when you go into a pitch, your ego is big. You are sure you're going to win, and you should be sure. You should come in with confidence. But sometimes that overconfidence can set you in a direction of making choices that maybe aren't the best.
But you're asking, so you went from $325,000 to $500,000, $500,000 for, and okay, we'll give you 20%, which isn't that much. Like he's getting a little bit of a discount. What, 20% discount on the percent, like on the.
So they could have come to. They could have hit to 325 and gone to like 14% or 13% and had the same kind of deal, but it doesn't work. He wants like half.
Deal or not here? Yes or no?
So can we talk about that? Yes.
I mean, I think you gotta take it, right? I mean, I think if they really need the money, they really believe that they need somebody to open up the door for them, which they may or may not. I think you just gotta roll with it and take the risk.
I wish Shark Tank had showed
the end of the world.
Yeah, I wish Shark Tank had shown more of the pitch because there is a lot of holes in this pitch that we got to see, which is most of it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the downside. You know, it's an hour, 40 minutes to an hour, and then they cut it down to, in this case, like 6 minutes or something like that. So.
Oh, no, I've had friends who have been Shark Tank. Sometimes these go for 2-3 hours, and they edit it down to like 4 or 5 minutes. Like it's a ton of editing. Yeah.
I mean, I'm saying by and large, these pitches are 40 minutes to an hour. But yeah, there are examples where that goes way longer than that. When I had Dino Don on the show for an interview, his went for an hour and a half, and the first 30-40 minutes was just them asking dinosaur questions.
Yes. Yeah. Well, because they want to know what they're talking about. So.
Yeah. Well, they were like, so like, how long ago were dinosaurs here? And like, no, that's the kind of dinosaurs. Like before they even got to the pitch,
just getting the background of the history.
They just were like, yeah, I want to know everything. I want to know everything about dinosaurs.
Oh,
like,
that's great.
Yeah. So let's see if they take the deal here.
So what we can do is that 10% mark, but $1.50, and then we can do it to $500,000.
No, that's not attractive, guys. Because I'm
getting the feeling there's not a meeting of the minds here, guys.
Guys, I'm sorry. We're not going to get there. We're not going to get there.
No.
I'm out.
Knew it.
Guys,
Yeah.
you had the big fish on the hook. All you had to do was reel it in.
You priced it too high. Way too high. That's the mistake. Everybody learns from a mistake like this because it is a unique product. Everybody understands the merit of it, but I am not going to give you $325,000 unless you agree to my terms right now. Last chance for romance. What do you want to do?
He's back in.
Take it. Wow. Just take. Robert can't believe
There's
it.
blood in the water. Take it.
He's really interested in this. Maybe he really wants to sell some restaurants, some fish.
Yeah, maybe.
Take it. Idea.
Yeah.
Of course.
Ding, ding. Congratulations, guys.
That's how you do it.
Thank you.
Let's check out their website in a minute here. When
Appreciate it.
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Wow.
congratulations, that's awesome.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Let's go.
I wonder if-
Baby, we got that.
Even though Kevin made a Sharky deal, we know what he's able to bring.
We just started out as two little kids who loved fishing. For us to make it this far and achieve the American dream, that's wonderful for us.
I'm happy for him.
I
I
am too.
I was kind of being like a little bit smarmy this whole time, but I am actually happy for them, and I shouldn't have been so judgy. But Congratulations,
We're
guys.
gonna, I'm gonna.
It's so hard.
You know what? Clay. We're gonna hear about that in the comments below, I'm sure, because not everyone's gonna make it to this part of the video.
Right.
But let's check out their website. Let's check out their website here. So animated lure, bring fish. I always Clay. But I like to see faces. And on this homepage, there is a lack of faces, unless we're counting fish faces.
Right. Now, do faces sell more product?
People help you identify. It helps you identify.
If they have
with the person.
if they had like a 7-year-old girl out there holding a fishing line with this thing swimming under her bobber, that would help.
I don't know if it has to be a 7-year-old, but
Maybe
a person,
a 9-year-old, human.
a dad and a
kids sell
kid,
fishing gear. That's what I'm telling you. Kids,
that's
you
what
need
you're saying. Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah.
you get the dad and the kid or whatever, some form of that, right on the homepage there. Let's check out their shop, right? So let's see if they're still selling for the same prices. So we got they got a mini and a premium mini.
Smaller the better.
Smaller the better. So premium mini.
That's
Oh my goodness.
I got it quite a bit.
My goodness. So it's $35 now. Not so they basically priced in Kevin's royalty there. Okay, so let's check it out here. Doesn't show any reviews.
Do they not have reviews on their website?
Customer service, maybe? I don't.
No,
that's not where
that's
I
not
would
where
put
reviews go.
I
It goes
would-
under the product.
Well, generally, yes, but I mean, they have so many products. I mean, that's so many SKUs. For
Well, you
them
have.
to-
I mean, fishing lures is about patterns. Like there's light colors, dark colors, very specific fish patterns. Which, by the way, you don't need. That's again selling to the fishermen, not to the fish. The fish only care light and dark. They don't. They don't need to be so perfect on it. A lure that looks perfect is made for me to get excited about in the store and give you my money for.
Okay. Oh, see, there's the people.
There it is. See,
right, but it's on the our
7-year-old
story. It
boy.
says,
Yeah.
you nailed it. Ding ding. And they have a video there. No reviews though. That's kind of odd.
Yeah.
Let's see what retailers have they gotten into. Wow, that's are any of these big retailers? Are these big fish retailers?
I see robotlure.com. I can't read your
Roboticlure.com.
I think those are just domains they own.
Do you get?
I never heard of Bam Frogs. I've heard of,
Okay,
but that's not a store.
it's not a store. Well, they sell it. Okay, so it has 5 reviews.
There you go.
Going back to 2018, was skeptical at first because I haven't seen it, seen electronic lure like that I liked. Thought thought would catch fish, and they liked it. Going back to 27, this is the lure. If you can make it smaller, it would be a great lure.
Yeah, always. Yeah, when lures get too big, you catch less fish. That's kind of you catch bigger fish, but less of them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, they're not going to go after. It's interesting. They're selling for $32.95. Or is this the? So I don't know.
The same one.
It's a 5-inch one. I don't know.
Yeah.
What the difference of how big is the premium mini? Specialty mini is 2.6 inches. Wow, that's really small.
Tiny.
That is really tiny. What's just the mini price? Is that $29.95? No, that's even. Yeah, they priced in the $3 royalty.
Yeah, I got to pay that royalty.
Yeah. Well, hey,
They look fine. I would totally fish with these. I would have a good time fishing with these. I'd have a hard time buying them more than once, just because of the price point.
Clay, just throwing it out there. How can they reach you if they want to send you a lure or 2?
Oh, they could just
10?
email. They're not going to want to. They're going to be mad at me. Clay@fishnerds.com. I would totally fish with them. I even have them on the show if they want to come on and convince me of the value of this. I'd be happy to chat with them. I love talking to lure bankers. I talk to a lot on my show. In fact, I've got correspondents on my show who own fishing lure companies. So we're always game for talking about that. Yeah.
I think it's interesting though that this was episode 3 of season 12. So this was a while ago that they were on the show. It'll be probably the middle of 2020 is when they recorded and it aired at the end of 2020. So it's been It's been some time,
Yeah.
but I just think it's interesting that they haven't gotten into other shops, that they don't have it linked to like Bass Pro Shop.
I don't see Bass Pro there.
Yeah,
I don't
right?
see, and that's you fully expect Cabela's, Bass Pro, those big box retailers to be carrying
with that
them.
said, you know,
They were at ICAST 2021. You see on the website there, and that's the big, like I think that's the biggest fishing expo in the country every year.
oh, okay.
Which I've never gone to. I get invited every year, but you know, I don't go.
Yeah.
But a lot of podcasters head down. There are a lot of lure manufacturers down there. They enter to win all kinds of awards and stuff. So
I actually
so
wonder
they're where the audience is. That's good.
I wonder if the deal fell through with Kevin. He has like the highest rate of deals falling through.
How does a deal fall through?
So when they do their due diligence afterwards is that's when the deal can fall apart. And
Oh,
not
so if
go
the numbers
through.
aren't accurate, or if there's
Or
if
I mean,
if
I've
they
heard
misrepresent.
Yeah, misrepresentation, or if they just change their mind, they're not bound, like they're not legally bound to anything until the final paperwork is signed.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, look, 5,300 likes on Facebook there is great.
Good. Wait, what are you saying? 5,300
5,300. What did I say?
on their
5,300?
on their business page?
Yeah, right.
That's
yeah.
it. They were on Shark Tank. That's all the likes they got.
I mean, it doesn't always translate to, but
I wonder if they had to restart everything for some reason and lost, because I have 15,000 on my fishing podcast page, right? Like, and I wonder if there's something happened when afterwards where they had to like redo everything, or it just seems like a really low number for where they're at.
I mean, look, but they also might not be putting their focus in there. If you see, like, July 22nd is the last time they posted, and then before that was October of 2020.
So they're not putting efforts. I wonder if maybe that they don't care about social media.
Well, look, here we are on Twitter, and last time they posted there was October. Let's Instagram. Oh, see, now this is one place that I would expect it to be closer to like 15,000 or more. But it looks like the last time they posted even here, it was in July when they were at ICAST. So
that tells me they're
much.
still running this. They're still running this as a part-time endeavor.
Yeah, which might
me,
be
because
the
it
reason
takes a lot of time.
that Kevin was like, yeah, if you guys aren't willing to like go full time with this, then maybe this isn't the right deal for me to give up $325,000 for you guys to continue to work. I will say this,
or he Googled robotic lures afterwards and went, oh my God, there's so many of them on the market already that are cheaper.
That's a possibility. I mean, they have quite a few views on their YouTubes. It's they actually are doing better than most of these companies on YouTube.
Well, that's good.
Most of the companies do really good on Instagram and very little on Twitter, very somewhat on Facebook, but mostly Instagram. But to have a YouTube following with this many, I mean, it's been a year since they've uploaded, which isn't great.
But fishing is a huge category on the YouTubes. YouTube loves fishing channels. Everybody seems to have a fishing channel, and they do really, really well. So, and people love it.
Oh, and these are super short. Wow,
Smart.
That would explain why they have so many views on each of those videos. But it's gotta get back on that horse there. Let's check out Amazon real quick and just check out some of these other fishing lures that are out there.
Can you find is there actual company on Amazon too? Can you buy it?
I typed in animated fishing lure and could not. It did not
I looked
come
for
up.
it myself. I didn't see it either.
I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't put it there unless you just don't want to pay the Amazon fees. But you're already charging a premium as it is when you compare to literally any of these. I don't know. I'm not sure what sizes we're comparing to, but just looking at the price, a 3.5 inch for $22. That one that was 2.5 inches or 2.6 inches was $32. So. And this is USB rechargeable. Now, is this more the price you'd be willing to pay?
It's maybe $15 be my high end. Now the thing is, I can tell you a story about. I bet you if you go to, I think it's Abu Dhabi. There's a Chinese resale website. What is it? It's
Alibaba.
Alibaba. Yeah, I bet if you go to Alibaba and you put in electric robot fishing lure, you're going to find these exact lures in there, maybe without hooks on them, or maybe without a piece of them that are being added by the resellers. I don't think that this is something that they're manufacturing.
So
They
this
look-
one
'cause
here
they
is
all
a
look the same.
3-piece for. This doesn't say it's electric. Like
No, that's
it's
just
not
that's
electronic.
just segmented. Yeah, that's just a segmented lure,
Yeah,
which are very common. So the,
It's-
the jointed ones are very common right now. A friend of mine owns a company called Daddy Mac Lures, and they were able to get theirs into Bass Pros no problem. So that's a very common one. But the electronics in them, having them being robotic, is a little step up. I've seen wind up ones also, and I've seen ones that add baking soda and vinegar too, and they just.
Uh, I mean, that seems like a lot to extra to carry. I mean, I
Yeah,
guess
no one
you can
does
put
it.
in like
They
a
do it
little
one
bottle.
time. They're just novelties. You do it a couple of times, and then it gets rusty or it gets tarnished, or you get fish guts in it, and it doesn't. You stop using them because they don't last. The fishing gear doesn't last. That's the magic of it. That's why it's such a good business. If you can have a lure people love that's affordable, people have to buy it over and over and over again because it doesn't last. And there's no value to you as a fishing lure company to make one that's long lasting. You know, it's you make more money on having a lower price point and selling a whole lot of effective lures that work, and now that are environmentally friendly. If you can go that route, so even better. So that's where I'm at with it. I just don't see the profit here.
I mean, it just. I don't know. And that's why I bring in my guest experts. My guest Biz Coaches here on Super Joe Pardo's Biz Coach Reacts. If you've enjoyed this video, go down below and smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm so we can get this video in the hands of other super entrepreneurs like yourself. Make sure you go and you check out shopsuperjoe.com to get your super entrepreneur gear. And
you got gear?
I got gear.
That's amazing.
It is. I got shirts. I got hats. We got the Ding Ding Bell shirt, which is a limited edition shirt that the shop just launched. I'm happy to announce it. It took a little while. It took a little longer than I wanted it to, but it's all there. You can even get copies of my book, Clay. You can get a signed copy of my book right off of shopsuperjoe.com.
How many books is that now, Joe? You're like your 8th book?
Fourth book. I haven't written a book since 2018 at this point, but I got a couple more in me, but it's just the time, Clay.
Book
that's
writing
the
is so
problem.
hard. That's why I podcast, because writing is so difficult, and talking isn't so bad. Except when you say horrible things, and then you get in trouble. So
Yeah. Try not to say horrible.
This is
things.
YouTube. Everyone says nice things to people on YouTube. All the comments are always kind, and that's why I like YouTube so much.
Like Steve. So make sure you go and drop a comment down below like Steve and get subscribed so you don't miss any of the Biz Coach Reacts videos or the interviews that I have coming down the pike with other Shark Tank business owners. And if you guys, you fishing animated lure guys, if you want to come on the show, just hit me up in the comments below and we'll make it happen.
Yeah, tell us how wrong I am. I would love to be. I like being wrong, so correct me.
Well, yes, please correct. Send those complaints to Clay at.
So I don't care at fishnerds.com.
And with that, for Clay Groves, I'm Super Joe Pardo. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.